Yeah. Did you know that I was just finishing up a conference call?
I told Jim that. I told Jim he's on a conference call.
Yeah. Well, so you get the booby prize.
It looks like it looks like Alan was, what, he's got 2 different dishes?
2 different dishes. Can you believe that?
My goodness. Wow.
He's getting innovative now.
Okay. That looks good.
Yeah, he's trying.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think one of them is like a schnitzel with a sauce or something.
I gotta vent to you for a second, my friend Rudy,
What?
before we start. Charles told us the other day that he and Nicolette are buying a townhouse. Ready for this?
Mazel tov.
Wait, a 4-bedroom townhouse.
Yeah.
One for them, one for Aiden, and one for the girls.
Uh-huh.
And Eileen said, and one is an office. Eileen said, "Oh, guest room when we go down there." He said, he didn't say, yeah, one is an office. So in other words, there's still no room. He's got a 4-bedroom townhouse, and there's still not going to be room for us to visit him.
Well, there'll be room in the garage, no?
No,
You should speak to her, not to him.
she probably agrees.
That's
The
first of
garage,
all.
the garage is big enough that he's got to pull her car into it, not his. Because if his car went into the garage, he probably wouldn't be able to get out.
The second thing is, tell them they'll get a much better deal buying up here in Forest Park.
Yeah,
Much bigger house, right? More bedrooms, for a quarter of the price or less.
she has a great real estate business down there.
Maybe they have a pet alligator.
They have real estate up here too.
Not like that.
Okay.
How are you,
Welcome.
Chaim?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Garden of the Spirit, a class studying apples from the orchard, second time around. This class meets in Long Meadow, Massachusetts, and is held in memory of Malka Rus Bas Moshe, Margaret Vogel of blessed memory. Apples from the Orchard contains selections of teachings of Kabbalah from the Arizal, Rabbi Yitzchak Luria, based on the weekly Torah portion, superbly translated and explained by Rabbi Moshe Wisniewski. Okay. So,
Oh, Guillermo's there.
Yeah, he's down there.
Well, for me, I'm up there.
Oh, you're down there.
You're down there.
Oh, I'm up here.
For me, he's on the side.
And I saw Alan's with the balls over there, and I thought he was, yeah, that guy.
That guy.
all right, very good. Thank you all.
I think he's got a,
That guy
I
is.
think he's got a great chef shirt on. Don't you like that chef shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is.
So
It is.
what we learned was
Hey.
that we're learning about the interception. Interception is called in Hebrew Yanikas Hachitzonim, nourishment that goes to outside forces, or either nourishment. It could also mean sucking away divine energy, and that's the word, to suck away divine energy by chitzonim, outside forces, is another term for klipa.
Succubus.
Okay, that's why it's like that, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's called succubus. So, because she sucks away the energy.
Mm-hmm.
No
The
soul.
so this occurred from Adam when he obviously from eating from the Eitz Hadas, and then the 130 years that he separated from Chava, and the Torah says that Hashem says, "I'm going to bring a flood." Ki hishchis kol darko, kol basar es darko al aretz. All flesh destroyed their way on the land. The word destroyed is also used by the sons of Yehuda, Er and Onan, who took measures that their wife shouldn't get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So this idea of destroying can be a euphemism or refers to the sins of Er and Onan. I'm sorry. Er and Onan, which is the eponymous sin of onanism. The Medrash says that so it says here that the land itself was corrupt, and so therefore the top 3 tfachim
Mhm.
of topsoil had to be dissolved through the flood. And the land is so the land is a term for Malchus, and the 3 tfachim refer to the intellect of Malchus, of Chachma, Bina, and Das in Malchus that they're in need of repair. And for this, we call the 3 musketeers, the 3 sons of Noach, Shem, Ham, and Yafes, who are able to repair this damage that was done. And I didn't mention that the people of the time of the flood, their souls were from the mess that Adam had made, especially what we say through the wasted seed or the inadvertent emissions created by Adam. There now is the generation of the flood, and what did they do? They continued. They caused even more damage. So we are going to start on page 29. And I suggest that we start hold on. We're at the top of 29, which is the last line that we read. But first, let me share my screen. We'll see what we're gonna we'll read ahead what we're going to. Okay, say July 21st.
Yes.
So this must be it.
Today's Tuesday. It must be Belgium.
That's right. Wait, you can't see this.
I don't see.
We don't see it. You didn't share.
No, I didn't. What's it called?
You're not sharing.
I didn't share.
You're supposed to share with us.
Okay. I know, not big enough. I'm going to make it bigger for you, Alan.
I didn't say anything. Did I say anything?
The refuah kodem lamako. We give the cure before the
There you go.
disease. Okay.
Yes.
Here we go. Let me just move this over. The 3 sons of Noach correspond to Chachma, Bina, and Das. They were meant to repair the damage caused by Adam and the generation of the flood, who were from the inadvertent emissions from Adam. Noach himself is from Yesod. Yesod implies purity in matters of relationship. Now, we have a rule in the Gemara. When it comes to intimacy, we hold the man responsible because we have a rule, ein kishui ela ladas. There's no hardness without intent. Man cannot claim to be forced into illicit relations, because it said if you had no intent for it, then there would be no hardness. The word for intent is das. And one thing that this can mean is that in intimacy, must occur with das, with a holy intent or focus, as we've spoken about the last few weeks. During the flood, this mindfulness was missing, so intimacy was forbidden to the survivors of the flood. In the ark, intimacy was forbidden. Intimacy during that time could cause holiness to be siphoned off by klipa. So during the flood, why was it like that? Because during the flood there was no coupling above, and therefore there could be no coupling below either for holiness. Okay, Alan, our
Okay.
first reader, so please go ahead.
Yes. Shem, Cham, and Yafes personified the intellect and emerged by Yesod in order to rectify this situation. Shem, Cham, and Yafes were born in order to reinstate the presence of holy mentality in Yesod so that proper coupling could occur. To explain, the origin of the intellect are the letters Yud, He, Vav of the name Havaya. Usually we consider only the first two letters of the name Havaya to be identified with the intellect, while the Vav indicates the Midos. In this context, however, we are discussing what occurs in Ima, which is entirely a partsuf of intellect. Thus, even the Midos there are the Midos of the intellect. Inasmuch as the final Hey of the name Havaya signifies Malchus, the means of expression that has nothing of its own, it is proper to consider only the first three letters of the name Havaya when discussing the content of Ima.
Thank you. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Got to go back to the notes. Okay. That was kind of maybe a review. 22. Usually, when we look at all 10 spheres together, the first two letters of Hashem's name are connected with intellect, and the last two letters connected with emotions. Being that we're referring to Ima, or Bina over here, where even the emotions are a form of intellect, the first three letters of Hashem's name, Yud and He and Vav, are included. We're even including the Vav. The intellect represented by the letters Yud and He and Vav use Yesod to repair Ze'er Anpin by introducing holy intellect into the emotions, as we spoke about before, that intimacy, a proper form of intimacy, has intellect along with it, intent. Hashem's name Havaya connects with Ekia. So two different names. One name Havaya, one name Ekia. Havaya is the emanator, it's the creator. And Ekia, I think we talked about it, it has to do with dinim, with severity, if I'm not mistaken. And maybe also the feminine aspect. But we're not going to get into that here. Hashem's name Havaya then connects with Ekia. The gematria of these three letters, Yud and He and Vav, Yud is 10, He is 5, Vav is 6, makes 21. The same as Hashem's name Ekia, which is also connected with Ima.
21.
Yeah, I'm going to go on. 24. The three letters Yud and He and Vav can be arranged 6 different ways, right? Yud and He then Vav, Yud, Vav, and He. Or we could do He, Yud, and Vav, and then, or He, Vav, and Yud. And we could do Vav, Yud, and then He, or Vav, He, and Yud. If you think of it, each letter can start 2 combinations. 3 letters, 6 different ways. Each arrangement is connected with one of the 6 spheros of Ze'er Anpin. The gematria of Yud and Hey and Vav is 21, as we just said, multiplied by 6, because 6 different combinations, is 126. Okay, that's first of all. Then 3 letters arranged 6 ways is a total of 18 letters. Of course, 18 is Chai, we know that. The intellect of Ima, so we're talking right now about, remember, we're talking about repairing the damage that was done by starting from Adam and by the generation of the flood. So the intellect from Ima brings Chai, or life, back to Malchus. We're not done. So we said that there are 3 letters. Hold on. How we do? Yeah, 3 letters. I'm sorry, the 3 letters Yud and Hey and Vav. First 3 letters of Hashem's name. Equals 21, and times, we can arrange them 6 different ways, that's 126. So 126 plus the 18 letters of the 3 ways that of the 6 ways they can be arranged equals 144. 144 in Hebrew is Kuf Daled Mem, Kuf 100, Daled 40, Mem Daled 4, and Mem 40. 144 is Kedem, means before or earlier, and this refers to the nefesh of Malchus. Why? It doesn't say, but it refers to the nefesh of Malchus, and so I guess this is the repair. This is part of the repair that happens, that Noach and his sons are now are doing through, I guess, by experiencing the flood. Okay, so with this, Alan, we'll go back to you. Oh, let me get out of here. And there you go. Okay, Alan, go ahead and continue.
Okay. These letters emerge by Yesod of Ima to rectify Ze'er Anpin, that is, to introduce holy intellect into it. The name Havaya becomes vested in the name Ekya, the letters Yud, Hey, Vav of the name Havaya becoming vested in the letters Aleph, Hey, Yud of the name Ekya. This is the first stage, as we have seen. The name Ekya is associated with Ima. The Yud, Hey, Vav then extend through the 6 extremities of Ze'er Anpin, which are manifest as the 6 permutations constructed by the letters Yud, Hey, Vav, whose numerical value is 126. Because Yud, Hey, Vav is 21, 21 times 6 is 126, and the 6 permutations are listed on the following page, which are Hey Vav Yud, which is Gevura, Hey Yud Vav Hod, Vav Yud Hey Teferis, Vav Hey Yud Yesod, Yud Hey Vav Chesed, Yud Vav Hey Netzach. Note that the permutations on the right axis begin with Yud, those on the left axis begin with Hey, those in the middle axis with Vav. This is because the spheros above the right and left axes are Chachma and Bina, associated respectively with the letters letters Yud and Hey of the name Havaya.
What? Okay, the 2 on the right start with the letter Yud. 2 on the left start with the letter Hey, and 2 in the middle start with the letter Vav.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
The 6 permutations of Yud Hey Vav comprise 18 letters. 18 is the numerical value of the word life, Chai, referring to the Ruach of Malchus. Chai, which is Ches Yud, 10 is 18. The Ruach of Malchus is the emotions of Malchus. The influx of intellect from Ima, as embodied in the permutations of Yud Hey Vav, has thus restored the Ruach of Malchus. When 18 is added to 126, the result is 144, the numerical value of the word before or not yet, kedem, which refers to the nefesh of Malchus. Kedem, kuf daled mem, 100 plus 4 plus 40, 144. Thus the nefesh, the netzach hod yesod of Malchus, has been restored.
Okay, the next part is going to go to another part of Malchus called the neshama of Malchus. Well, let's see what we got here. What's that? This is the nefesh. Okay, for nefesh it says netzach hod and yesod. Okay, 25. What number does it go up to? Oh my gosh, 33. 25. Okay. Hashem's 52 name corresponds to Malchus. And I'm going to explain that. The order of the 4 names that we focused on are 72, the highest, then 63, then 45, then 52. So 52 is the 4th one. It's not the lowest number, but it's the 4th. And it corresponds in parts of, it'll correspond to Malchus. And for the 4 letters of Hashem's name, it corresponds to the final Hey. Hashem's 52 name corresponds to Malchus. The expanded spelling of Hashem's 52 name equals 144 as follows. If you take all 4 letters plus the first 3 letters plus the first 2 letters plus the first letter equals 144 kedem. And the letters Yud, K, Vav, 21 times 6, and I think I left out here, plus, I shouldn't include that, equals 144 kedem. So another way to look at that is, remember, this is all expanded spelling. And so we do the first letter 4 times.
No,
The
the first
sec-
4, the first 4, well. all right,
The
you go
first
that way.
letter 4 times, the second letter 3 times, the
Okay.
third letter 2 times, and the fourth letter once. I'm glad that you're listening, Alan. Thank you.
No, see, when I look at it in the book, I look at it in the way that the first line is the first 4 letters, then the first 3 letters, then the first 2 letters, and then the first letter.
Correct. I
So
know.
I look at instead of looking that way, I'm looking at it linearly
Yes.
from how many letters. First is 4 letters, then 3, then 2, then 1.
Right. Right. That's right. I'm just explaining it a little different.
To me, that's more logical.
Okay. That's fine. No problem.
Yeah.
So this also equals 144. So now 144 is connected to the 52 name of Hashem. The first 3 letters of Hashem. Oh, okay. Now we're going to go a different way here. The first 3 letters of Hashem's name are from Bina. We said that before. I explained that in the intro. In 22. So the first 3 letters are from Bina, of Hashem's name. Bina corresponds to Hashem's name of 63. When you go, again, 72 corresponds to Chachma, and 63 corresponds to Bina. 45 corresponds to Ze'er Anpin, and 52 corresponds to Malchus. So Bina corresponds to Hashem's name of 63. Guess what? If you take Kedem, 144, and you add 63, you get 207, which is the same as Or,
Just light. Yeah.
light. Yes. Aleph Vav Resh is 207. Or is the name for divine energy. Even though we call it divine beneficence, I call it divine energy. I sometimes call it holiness. I think we have a few different names for it. It actually, the word is or, which is light. And there's a reason why they call it or, and they don't use the word energy. Maybe energy works also. Hebrew, there's another word there that they avoid, because or seems to happen on its own, and there's nothing tangible that's being that nothing tangible that's being spread or that's being used up, let's say, by the sun. Okay, so now we can take this further. We can take 207, we could add the 18 arrangements of the Yud, Hey, and the Vav. Then the 18 letters. I should write combinations. The 18 letters from the combinations of the Yud, Hey, and Vav from number 24. Plus, we'll take 3 for the letters as they exist in Hashem's name and their source, and we get 228. 228 is bracha plus 1 for the wild card for the kolel. Bracha itself is 227 plus 1 is 228, and that's that. Okay, so Jim, do you want to continue, please? We're at 30 near the bottom, the 3 letters.
So similarly, the sum of the numerical values of the simple, double, triple, and quadruple forms of the 52 name is equal to the numerical value of Kedem, and it is the soul of Malchus. These 4 forms are spelled out of the name Chavaya such that it equals 52 repeated 3 times, each time dropping the last letter, thus Yud Vav Dalet Hey Hey Vav Vav Hey Hey is 20 plus 10 plus 12 plus 10, which is 52. Yud Vav Dalet Hey Hey Vav Vav, 20 plus 10 plus 12, 42. Yud Vav Dalet Hey Hey, 20 plus 10 is 30. And then you have Yud Vav Dalet, which is 20. So 20 plus 30 plus 42 plus 52 is 144. The 3 letters Yud, Hey, Vav that are the origin of the intellect of Zer Anpin, and from which are derived these 6 permutations of Yud, Hey, Vav, express the 63 name. 63 plus Kedem equal the numerical value for the word for light, or 206 plus the kolel. This is the neshama of Malchus.
1 minute. It says plus the kolel, but if you spell
The light's 207.
light's 207,
It's kind of a mistake.
that's what I think.
Doesn't make sense. Here,
Yeah, that's what I think, that it should be 207.
yeah,
And
that's
forget the kolel, right?
right, no
That is
kolel.
Kolel.
Kolel brings it, it's no good.
See, on top when he explains it, it doesn't have the kolel,
Right, it's good on 31, but
Well,
not
not
on
good.
30.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Look on the
Well,
next
when we're gonna get,
30 where it's got it written out. He's got the 63 plus 144 is 207. And then he's
Yeah.
got light, which is 207.
Okay,
right, now,
good, thank
light
you.
is correct. It's the Aleph, Vav, Resh, 1 plus 6 plus 200, 207. So this is, that's why I said it's 31 is correct.
Okay, good, thanks.
All right.
Okay, go ahead, Jim.
Okay, so this is the neshama of Malchus. 63 name is associated with Bina. So 63 plus 144 is 207. Thus, the intellect, the neshama of Malchus, has been restored. Light, or Aleph Vav Resh, is 1 plus 6 plus 200, so 207. When we consider the 18 letters which compose the 6 permutations of Yud He Vav, together with the 3 root letters, Yud He Vav, we have 21 letters. This number, added to 207, yields the numerical value of the word for blessing, bracha, 227 plus the kolel. So let's do this. 18 plus 3 is 21. That's what we get. 21 plus 207 is 228. So bracha is Beit Resh Kuf Hey, 2 plus 20 plus, I'm sorry, 2 plus 200 plus 20 plus 5 is 227. Thus, the union of Yesod and Malchut is blessed and can occur. We will now see where the permutations are alluded to in the story of Noach.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so remember, we're trying to repair
Right.
the damage.
Okay.
Okay, in number 23, we mentioned it would be the first 3 letters of Hashem's name
Right.
that repair the world during the
Right.
flood,
Mhm.
by infusing Zerampin with intellect. The 3 letters can be arranged 6 different ways for a total of 18 letters. Hashem told Noach to bring into the ark pure animals 7, 7. And of the impure animals, 2, 2. That's how it says in the Chumash, Shiva, Shiva, 7, 7, 7. And Shnayim, Shnayim, 2, 2. When we translate it in English, we call that 7 by 7, 7 by 7, or 2 by 2. But if we look at it that way, it's 7 and 7, 2 and 2 gives us 18.
Yeah.
The number of letters in all different combinations. Now, the word for animal, we said before, we were talking about the 52 name of Hashem. The word for animals, behema, equals 52. Beis, he, mem, he, 2, 5, 40, and 5. Hashem's name of 52 corresponds to the second letter, to the letter Hey of Hashem's name, especially the second letter Hey, the last letter of the name. Thus, the animals in the ark are connected to the letter Hey of Hashem's name. Specifically, the pure animals are connected with the letters Hey of the combinations for Chesed and Netzach. Those are the ones that start with the letter Yud.
Good. Yeah. Yeah.
And the impure animals are connected with the letters Hey of the combinations for Gvura and Hod,
Mhm.
the ones that start with
Hey.
what? Hey, with the
With
letter
Hey.
Hey. Okay. Okay, so yes, Jim, do you want to continue there?
Sure. The 18 letters of the 6 permutations allude to 7 by 7 ritually pure animals, that is 14, and 2 by 2 ritually impure animals, that is 4. The idiom for 7 by 7 is simply 7, 7, implying 7 plus 7 or 14. The same is true for 2 by 2 or 2, 2 or 4, 4 plus 4, 14 plus 4 is 18. The pure and the impure animals are derived from the Hey of the Yud, Hey, Vav. The letter Hey is associated with the animals chiefly by the fact that the letter Hey of the name Chavaya is associated with the 52 name. And 52 is the numerical value of the word for animal, Bechema. True, we are dealing with the first Hey of the name Chavaya, but in general, the two Heys of the name Chavaya are the feminine sides of the two letter pairs, while the Yud and the Vav are the masculine sides. The feminine here means recipient or means of expression, and this is the role played by animals vis-a-vis human beings. Specifically, the pure animals are derived from the letters Hey in the permutations of Yud Hey Vav and Yud Vav Hey, which is aligned with Chesed and Netzach. The impure animals are derived from the letters Hey in the permutations of Hey Vav Yud, Hey Yud Vav, which is aligned with Gevurah and Hod. As
One
for what is
moment.
the, I
Okay.
think that's what we did, yeah.
That's as I explained. And then the next thing says that the that leaves two. The two that are begin with two combinations that begin with the letter Vav.
Vav.
So in the Torah, it says it says every animal that is not pure. It doesn't say any animal that is impure. It refers to any animal that's not pure. So here he says that there's a third category of animal, that not the ones that are pure, not the ones that are impure, but the ones that are not pure, but they're not necessarily impure. It's like guilty, innocent, or not guilty. You could be not guilty. It doesn't mean that you're innocent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So it says this third category is for a third category.
No such thing as innocent in the law. No such thing.
Okay, so there you go. Not in the law.
Yeah.
So we could do so it says that there's a third category of animal that is corresponds to the two combinations that start with the letter Vav. We don't understand what that third category is.
Oh, good. I was wondering what they were.
No, we just don't know what it is. But it says there is a third.
Rudy, do you know? You know everything else.
No,
No? Usually I figured you'd have some answer.
not this time.
Okay.
Are you
And so
with-
and there you go, Jim. You can go ahead and read that.
Okay, so as for what is derived from the permutations Vav Yud Hey and Vav Hey Yud, aligned with Tiferet and Yesod, these animals are neither pure nor impure. They are alluded to by the phrase, from the animals that are not pure. This implies that the animals on one hand are not pure, but it does not say impure either. It is not clear what animals are being referred to here.
Okay. So now,
Dinosaurs and the unicorn. No?
Yeah. Okay. So now, where are we going to go to?
Hold on a second.
31, 32, 33. So now that we said that the impure the pure animals are connected with the right side, and the impure animals connected with the left side. I think that's where he goes to explain now. 31. Whatever extends below on the left side becomes klipa. And the left side is gevura, severity. Gevura severity is red, but below it turns black. I was gonna name this class Black Lives Matter. I'm sorry, or Black Lines Matter. I'm sorry, Black Lives Matter, something. Okay, but below it turns black. Gold, we've had this a number of times. Gold is considered red. I'm not exactly sure why. Not sure why, but gold is considered red and not yellow. And black refers to the dross of gold. Dross are the impurities, maybe a little coating. And now we see that we have a rule in the Talmud. Obviously, if a woman bleeds, so she becomes tamei, has to separate from her husband. There's one thing are the laws of the Torah, and then another many laws that were added by the rabbis to avoid a situation. So if she spots, then that could render her tamei. Depending on a number of things, one of those things is color. What we want to see is this chance or probably blood that comes from deep inside, or is it another fluid? If it's another fluid from the body that's not blood, then it's not a problem. So one of the things we look at is the color. Certain colors are colors of blood, others are colors of other fluids. If the spot is red, it's obviously a color of tumah impurity.
Mhm.
If the spot is black, it's also considered a color of blood that used to be red but turned black.
Mhm.
And then we get into situations of how what's it called? Is the color how what's the word? Strong? If it's faded,
Yeah.
or if it's faded or not, right? There are all kinds of different rules that rabbis take training. They learn the laws and they take training to be certified to be able to answer those questions specifically.
Mhm.
So, what does that have to do with there? So what it says, and so from there we borrow the line that if something that the color black used to be red. So
Red.
here too, the black dross from the red gold is the dross, and it goes to klipa. Gevura that descends on the right from chesed stays red, and it contains sparks of holiness, so they become nefesh of klipa. These are the sparks that shattered from tohu that we had talked about, and they are represented in the last two letters of Hashem's name. Let's do this over. Let's read this aside now. 32, Gershon, to explain.
To explain, whatever extends too far below on the axis of Gevura becomes evil. This is the dross of gold mentioned in the Zohar, which is black. Dross is the waste matter that forms on the surface of molten metal. Even though they are derived from Gevura, which is red, when they are manifest below, they become black. This is the meaning of our sages' statement that black is a defective form of red.
Mhm.
In contrast, the states of Gevura that descend on the right axis always remain red, and they become the nefesh of the evil shells. There are sparks of holiness within them that fell into them when the vessels of the world of Tohu were shattered. These are the Vav He of the name Havaya, the Vav being the life force of the male and the He being the life force of the female of the evil shells. Since the right axis is not inherently one of Gevura, the Gevura within it does not descend as far down as the spheres on the left axis can.
Mhm.
When a person,
Okay, hold on.
yeah.
So here, yeah, I think we're gonna say here is that the divine energy that gives sustenance is like a secret. It's something that's not meant to be shared with everybody. It's meant to be kept inside the group, inside the circle. And if we say that we to divulge a secret, then we're sharing it with unauthorized ears. And this is what happens when there is an interception of the divine energy. That means that something that's meant to stay here suddenly becomes taken over, or also reaches unauthorized users, unauthorized sources, unauthorized ears in this case. So from that, I think now we go and explain a pasuk. We compare it to a secret that is being told. Okay, 32, and this is as far as I have for the notes. Okay, Gershon, go ahead, 32.
When a person divulges a secret to a sinner, he causes the evil embodied in this person to couple openly with the hay, and the forces of evil abduct the offspring of this union. And the forces of evil abduct the offspring of this union. Okay. This is the mystical meaning of the verse. Do not reveal a secret to another. The secret here is the holiness hidden within reality, or the inner powers or potentials that we possess to do good. When these are shared with people of evil intent, we are guilty, figuratively, of spilling our seed, causing our potentials to be diverted to unholy purposes.
See, they compared it to secrets. If it would be written today, they would talk about interceptions. Sure.
To explain, we have already said that the hay of Atzilus is manifest in Atzilus, and the Vav of this hay is the masculine principle, while the Dalet is the feminine principle. They are manifest as Partsufim, Jacob and Leah. The form of the letter He can be seen as a Dalet with a smaller Vav inside. The He, which indicates Malchus of Atzilus, thus alludes to the union of Zerampin and Nukba that occurs within it.
Okay, so we have the letter He can be seen as a Dalid, and then inside it, he says there's the letter Vav. It can also be seen, you can also say there's a Yud inside it, which would give us that the letter He is either Dalid Vav or Dalid with a Yud. And we are now 1 month away from the month of Elul, when we talk about Dodi, Ani li Dodi v'Dodi li. This spells the word Dodi. Dalid Vav and Dalid Yud are probably, the fact that we say it, that we talk about this in Elul, is that it is probably to any ideas that are contained within the letter He, looking at it as a Dalet and Vav, Dalet Yud is Dodi, is connected with the month of Elul and Teshuvah. And I don't remember offhand what they are, or don't know, but that's probably a connection. Okay, continue, Gershon.
When someone reveals a secret to a wicked person, he causes Yesod, which is that Vav, to channel its effulgence to the powers of evil. This is alluded to by the words a secret to another, for the numerical value of the word for secret, Sod, is 70, referring to the 70 angelic princes of the non-Jewish nations. The non-Jewish nations, at least until the rectification in the Messianic future, embody the fallen version of Adam that chose to be associated with the materiality of this world and thus oppose the revelation of divine will on earth. There are 70 archetypal nations as enumerated in Genesis 10. Their spiritual sources, the angelic princes, are personifications of these different mentalities or cultures that they each express. Each is a different variation, that means perversion, of the Torah. Each emphasizes or expresses a different angle of the Torah, preserving parts and distorting in others. The wicked person in this exposition can, of course, be a Jew just as well as a non-Jew. When a Jew identifies with a particular non-Jewish culture and mindset, he serves as a vehicle for that non-Torah take on life. Sod, Samech, Vav, Dalet, 60 plus 6 plus 4, 70.
Sod meaning secret.
Mhm. When a person reveals a secret to the wicked, he causes Yesod to channel its flow into these 70 princes, and they can then overpower Malchus. Hashem intended that they should all be subject to Malchus under the purview of the Jewish people, but he effects the opposite, giving the forces of evil power over them. This is a mystical power. That got loud. If you mute, there you go. This is a mystical meaning of the sage's statement. When wine enters, the secret comes out. Wine refers to the 7 angelic princes of the nations, likened to intoxicating wine. When this wine enters to receive flux from Yesod, the secret exits. That means Malchut, which is the secret sod of Yesod. The numerical value for the word for wine, yain, yud, nan, 10 plus 10 plus 50 is 70, alluding to the 70 nations. Alcohol intoxicates a person, blurring his perception, just as the non-Jewish cultures are each a blurring of the truth of the Torah. Just as blurred perception displaces sober mentality in a drunk person, when the 70 princes enter to receive from Yesod, they displace Malchus. Malchus here is called the secret, because the word for secret also equals 70. And Malchus is the 7th sephira of the emotions, which, when metamorphosed into the complete Parsuf, can be thought of as possessing 70 sub-sephiros, or the 7 sephiros, 10 sephiros each. Okay. The word for secret is also part of the word Yesod, Yesod, which can be considered as a spelling Yud Sod, the secret of Yud. The seminal drop of Chochmah, the Yud, is what Yesod posits in Malchus.
Wow.
When a person,
I didn't get all that.
all right,
The bold part.
the bold part.
Bold, not bald. When wine
But,
enters,
yeah, the secret comes out.
wine is the 70 angelic princes. Okay.
So
They're like intoxicating wine. This wine enters to receive from Yesod, then the secret exits. That means the secret is lost. The secret
is going the wrong way, yeah.
Goes the wrong way. Intercepted. Okay.
And then Yesod has within it Yud and Sod, and that also that goes to the seminal drop of Chachma, which is Yud,
Right.
and Yesod can posit that in Malchus, and that can be the holiness that flows when it isn't intercepted. So just doesn't say that, but that's where I think he's going.
So when a person reveals the secret to someone who is unworthy, he causes the forces of evil to receive from Yesod, and they are warmed by it and produce offspring. Warm here means aroused. This usage is common in the rabbinic idiom. The choice of it here will be clear now, as is contrasted to the inherent coldness of evil.
So it gives you a lesson in how to keep from feeding evil and bringing it to Malchus in a holy way as opposed to an evil way. One way is to not share with sinners, but that can be anyone who is not inclined, including your own people, who is not inclined to be living a holy life.
Especially with those who are not Jewish to get drunk and reveal secrets. to them, because then you're really spreading things.
Yeah, but it can also be to a Jew.
Of course,
which is-
What?
unfortunately.
You can spread this secret to a sinner who happens to be a Jew by sharing the secret, sharing the seminal drop of the yud with something that's improper, that's given over to the forces of evil. If you share with a non-Jewish a Jew who has he says a non-Jewish cultural mindset, he serves as a vehicle for that non-Torah take on life, and we have to be careful not to do that in terms of our secrets, in terms of sharing our yud.
So, okay, thanks. I want to see this again. I'm sorry, I want to, I'm going to want to look again, see what he says. The holiness that we have is, as a metaphor, we call it a secret. So just like you can imagine, we all know what it's like when we give away a secret that we weren't supposed to tell, or the secret is about us, something private, and someone else announces it or shares it, and then it gets back to us. And so how we feel, that we feel betrayed. Our trust was betrayed. We had something, and why did they have to go and tell so-and-so, and now it gets back to me? This is a betrayal of trust. This is the same idea as when we take the divine energy, and it goes to Klipa.
Yeah.
So when, just a minute, please. So what is this divine energy? God gives us life. Okay? He gives us life. And if we take that life and we squander it, or we use it for something that we're not supposed to, then that is like giving away the secret. In the morning we say Modani lefanecha, we say thank you Hashem for restoring, you restored my soul. Okay, well, so what are we going to do now today? Now that we woke up, God refreshed our soul, and He gave us life. So what are we going to do with it? Are we going to deal dishonestly with people? Are we going to, God forbid, cause a chilul Hashem, a desecration of Hashem's name?
Right.
Are we going to go waste our time? Okay, so this is like giving away the secret. Hashem gave us something precious, and then we're squandering it. Hashem gave us talents or skills, or put us in a certain position, and if we misuse it, then that is all called giving away the secret. So when we talk about that it can be done by Jewish people, we're not saying not to teach them Torah or something, that this is their Kabbalah, which is a secret. But it's when they have a gift from Hashem, which is compared to a secret, talents, time, life, and they squander that, that is like giving away the secret. Where did it say? Here, the wicked person. When a Jew identifies with the particular thing, so then in any case, whatever it is you're giving away to the klipa, doesn't matter if you're Jewish or not Jewish.
Not correct.
Yeah, I find it very interesting that he compares it to a secret. I don't remember. There was something you said that really I forgot that hit me the right way. But interesting, we compare it to a secret and being betrayed, and how careful. I know what. Not that, something else. Last week in my rabbi's message, I wrote about the power of speech. The parsha last week talked about vows and oaths. The
Mhm.
Torah says that whatever, according to whatever you said, you should keep. You're obligated to keep. So it says that what I wrote from the Shalah, Hashem gave us a great gift, speech. No other creature has that gift. No other, obviously, plants, no birds or animals have that gift of speech. What is speech? Speech isn't just a random combination of sounds, but you think with letters also. You think with language. That's what it's called. You think with language too. So the idea is that speech is a special talent, skill, ability that animals don't have, that is all, not just about what we say, but also about what we think. We think in language.
And we can harm. We can harm terribly in language. We can put stumbling blocks in front of people who are listening to us, who are getting counseling from us, who are taking our word. And we sometimes we have to be very careful not to put a stumbling block in front of them when particularly if they're blind. It's constant. We hear this that we should do.
Yeah. Yes. So over there, it makes a point. The Shalom makes a point about that speech is such a great. We have to value the speech because it's such a great gift from God.
Yeah.
And therefore, whatever we say, we need to honor and keep our oaths.
Yeah.
Speech is very powerful.
Yeah.
Yes.
And,
there's a famous story about it. You all know. You heard from Rabbi Wolf. Okay, I'm going to do it very fast because it's already getting late. I'll tell the story very quickly. You've probably heard it. There was a king who was very sick, and if I can remember, I'll tell it very quickly. The king was very sick, and the doctor said that he needs, the only thing that will cure him is milk from a lioness. So they were all, okay, fine. Okay, but how are we going to get milk from a lioness? So one guy comes up and says, hey, I'll do it. They said, okay, so I need 10 lambs. So they give him the 10 lambs. He finds where the lion's den. And the first day he goes, he throws a lamb. Second day he throws a lamb. Every day he goes closer and closer. And the last few days he's like right next to the lioness, giving it the lamb and feeding the lamb. And then the 10th day, lioness actually allows him to milk her, and he takes it and closes it and brings it back, and he goes back. As he's close to the palace, he goes to sleep for a nap. He has a dream, and all the parts of his body are arguing. His legs say, I'm the most important part of the body because I was one who walked and so on. The hands say, we were the most important part. We milked the lioness. And each part of the body says, hey, I'm the most important part. The mouth speaks up last, says, I'm the most important part. They said, you didn't do anything.
Right.
He said, okay. Next day he goes and he's right near the palace. He comes to the king and says, here is the milk from the dog. And they say, what? You insult the king that way? They throw him in prison. And he goes to sleep and he has a dream. All the parts of the body are yelling, you idiot, what'd you do? We worked so hard. We all were on a team. You ruined everything for us. And the mouth said, I told you I'm the most important part. So they said, fine. They said, so you proved your point, and now you're going to kill us all. They said, if you're so smart, get out of it. So the guy wakes up, and he goes to the jailer and says, I have a message for the king. I have to talk to the king. So he goes back to the king, and he says, He says it's really the milk from a lion. And he says it was just a pet. He said, I got so friendly with the lion, it was like my pet dog. So they king drinks the milk and is cured, and he gets greatly rewarded. So the mouth won. That is the most important part. It says a chaim v'amavis biyad haloshon, that the life and death are in the power of the power of the mouth is life and death.
Mm. Great, beautiful,
Okay.
beautiful.
Let's go.
Yashikar.
Chaim, very nice.
Beautiful.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Good
God
week.
willing, next week we should have class.
All right.
Tonight's Rosh Chodesh, everybody, and tomorrow, happy Rosh Chodesh.
Happy Rosh Chodesh. Be well.
Plant-based.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Plant-based.